Hello, and welcome back to another episode of White Album 2. We are currently playing through CODA. So, we're still caught in the middle of Kazusa wants to be left alone, but Kazusa also wants Haruki with her, and whether or not her life is going to be better with him in it. So, let's just continue on and see how it goes.
そう言っといて、この前のコンサート失敗したくせに。
あれはお前が来てくれなかったから。
ほらな。
どうして私のピアノを聴いてくれなかったんだ。
Don't start out with a crying, Kazusa. That's just gonna make me sad.
カズサがそういう限り、俺は俺の万全を尽くす。今度こそお前のそばにいる。
That statement may be arrogant, presumptuous, and excessive. But despite that, the both painful and happy fact that it works on Kazusa is evident.
だから、お前はあの部屋にいていいんだ。コンサートが終わるまでいていいんだよ。
コンサートが終わるまで。
That's a sad statement to make.
あ。
Until the concert is over, I won't leave Kazusa's side. That can also be interpreted as me not making any promises about what will happen after the concert.
なんで？
コンサート成功してほしいからだよ。お前の凄さ、日本の人たちに分かってほしいからだ。
And again, we go back to that trauma that Kazusa's only useful when she's good at piano. That's kind of what happened with her mom. Now Haruki is repeating the same thing, and honestly, if I were her, I'd be pissed. I'd be like, ugh. I don't even think of this as a compliment. I don't think of it as true. She deserves way better than this statement. Kazusa realizes the deceit behind those words. She realizes that I'm still taking a step back.
お前にもう一度日本を好きになってもらいたいからだよ。
But I had no choice but to separate my feelings from what I need to do. Even if she manages to see through my cowardly behavior, and even if that means she'll run out of patience with me, there is a truth I need to hide from her, even if it means using a despicable version of myself as a front.
飽きた。
え？
And in response to that, Kazusa...
鍋は飽きた。カレーももうたくさんだ。肉が食べたい。分厚いステーキが。
カズサ。
bears with me for a while longer.
そっか、ステーキか。うん、そんなのは朝飯前だ。いや、そんな時間に食うものじゃないけど。
お前、ステーキを舐めてるんじゃないだろうな。ただ肉を焼くだけで私が満足するとか思うなよ。
任せとけ。レアもミディアムもウェルダンもお手の物だ。なんならフランベだってやってみせるぞ。やったことないけどな。
So Haruki specializes in everything, apparently.
甚だ不安だけど、お手並み拝見といこうか。
よし、なら今日はデパ地下寄っていい肉買おうぜ。奮発してサーロインの高いのを。
だからお前は貧乏人だって言うんだ。どうしていい肉と言いながらサーロインなんだ。
I still don't know if she decided that she still needs me, or if she just gave up trying to convince me that she doesn't. Regardless, she'll allow me to meddle in her affairs, something that should be nothing but torture to Kazusa. And yet, you know that, and yet, you continue pushing yourself into her life. That's why I'll make Kazusa suffer with all my might, and from the bottom of my heart. And God, it just drives me up a wall because it's not wrong. But the fact that he's dragging this along with Setsuna still attached to him, it makes it so wrong for him and for Kazusa and for Setsuna. Until her last concert in Japan. Until 3 weeks from now.
あと、デパ地下寄るなら、ラスカルの滑らかプリンを1ダース。
甘いもの控えるって言ったよな。つい1分前。
Kazusa, Yoko-san, and me. Thus begins our life on a tightrope that may snap at any moment. A tightrope smeared with lies, hypocrisy, and makeshift solutions.
Hi, おしまい。今日もお疲れ様でした。
最後まで引くよ。もう少しだけ。
痛むんでしょ？これ以上無理して悪化させたらバカみたいよ。
大丈夫だって。自分のことは自分が一番よくわかってる。
I don't believe that for a moment. Kazusa barely understood her own crush back then.
そのセリフの信用度が急降下中なんだけど、特に日本に来てから。
うるさいな。
とにかく今日のところはここまでにしときなさい。手首をケアしてまた明日から頑張れば。
ピアノくらい好きに弾かせてくれ。私にはそれくらいしかこだわるものがないんだ。
そうなの？
そうなの。
面白みのない人生ね。
あんたとは違ってな。だから邪魔しないでくれ。
そんな風に枯れちゃって残りの人生歩いていけるの？
なんでそんな先のことまで考えなくちゃならないんだ。
あなたが私と違うからよ。新しい恋も新しい男も見つけられるか怪しいからよ。
男なんかいなくても家庭なんか持たなくてもちゃんとあんたの老後の面倒くらい見るよ。安心しろ。
Oh, that statement. Knowing what we do becomes very, very sad.
私が心配してるのは自分の老後じゃなくてあなたの老後なんだけどね。
それも大丈夫だろ。どうせあんたは私が死んでもまだ生きてるって。
人のことどんなヴァンパイアだと思ってるのよ。
体に気をつけて長生きしてくれよ。私のためにもさ。
カズさん。
頼むよ、母さん。
You can't say that. Oh my god, if I was Yoko-san, I'd just break down crying and leave the room. That's so bad.
それでいつまで弾いてるつもりなのよ。
だからちゃんと最後まで。
さっき窓の外見たらさ、ギターくんが寒そうに突っ立ってたのよね。
She stops immediately.
30分くらい前のことでね。中に入って待ってたらって言ったんだけど。
どうしてそれを先に言わない？
だってピアノくらい好きに弾かせてくれって。
何度も言ってるだろ。今月はいっぱいいっぱいなんだって。
そう言うなよ。どうしても今日中でないとダメなんだよ。
God, it's been a while since we heard from Takeya.
だから聞くって言ってんだろ。早く話せよ。
こっちこそ何度も言ってるだろ。電話じゃ話せない内容なんだって。
This is the 4th time we've repeated this back and forth. Takeya called me as I was waiting for Kazusa outside the studio, and his tone seemed pretty serious. There's something I absolutely need your advice on today. What's his message? It sounded desperate enough to make me falter a bit, but...
あのさ、竹谷。実は俺、初めてメインを任されたんだ。もともと部数の少ない雑誌の、さらに増刊だけど。
ああ、聞いてる。おめでとう、春樹。 やっぱ仲間内じゃお前が一番早く出世しそうだよな。
ありがとう。でさ、月末が締め切りなんだよ。今回は俺が働かないとマジで本が出ないんだよ。
Right now, I have such a convincing excuse available to me. Not only is it a half-truth, but it's also an excuse that manages to wipe away half of my guilt.
ほんの1時間でいいんだ。話が終わったらすぐに仕事に戻ってもいい。
Haruki is like the worst friend. I mean, I know I'm always ragging on him, but literally, he's never there for people. Your friends shouldn't have to beg you to hang out, and that's how it's been, like, ever since closing chapters started.
Takeya.
But Takeya doesn't relent to that perfect excuse. His persistence is impressive today. He really has started to act like a middle-aged man. What? No. You're not even giving your friend an hour of your time after weeks. It's not a middle-aged man to want to hang out with your friend and want advice from your friend.
まだ御宿なんだろ。俺も駅前にいるからすぐに合流できる。9時までには絶対返すから。
9時か。
That would delay me a little bit, but I suppose I'll still be able to prepare dinner.
頼むよ、ハルキ。俺の人生がかかってんだよ。いや、今回は誇張じゃなくてさ。
またイオのことか。
だからそれもあったら話す。じゃあ OK ってことで。
I suppose so. As long as I contact Kazusa in advance, I'm sure...
絶対に9時までだぞ。俺9時には何があっても上がるから。
分かってる分かってる。お前今どこだ？すぐにそっち向かうから。
ああ、こっちから店の方に行くわ。どうせいつもの。
As long as I contact Kazusa in advance. Here she is.
どうしたハルキ？やっぱ迎えに行こうか。
すまん、タケヤ。たった今やっぱり行けなくなったところだ。
God, Haruki is the worst friend.
なあ、さっきの電話部長だろ。
あいつをそう呼ぶやつはお前だけだったな。
I endeavored to make the steak during the beginning of the week, but it was way beyond both my repertoire and my budget. So we're stuck with regular old stew again.
行けばよかったのに。せっかく誘ってくれたんだからさ。
Yeah, this is the problem. It's not abnormal to hang out with your friends, but Haruki is so hyper-focused on one thing, and that becomes the problem. He couldn't date Setsuna and be Kazusa's friend. He can't be dating anybody and be anyone else's friend because he makes me so mad. I hate people like that. I really, really hate people like that. Friends are so important.
肉ばかり拾うな。白菜煮えてるぞ。ほら。
そんなに入れるの？糸こんにゃくなんかいらないって。じゃなくてさ。
Although Kazusa is undoubtedly hungry, she's moving her mouth more than her chopsticks.
別にいいよ。今だってほとんど毎月会ってるんだからさ。
Almost every month. Except when it's important and you could use a friend's help and advice.
だったら余計に今月も会うべきだろ。これがきっかけで疎遠になったらどうするんだ。
だからポン酢に砂糖を入れようとするな。お前がその変色をやめない限り俺は行かないの。ほら、魚も食え。あと大根と人参と春菊と。
待って、春菊だけは勘弁してくれ。他は食べるからさ。
In the first place, she glared at me with tears in her eyes when she saw me on the phone. For her to tell me this now feels a bit off.
それに竹谷はそんなやつじゃないよ。そろそろ8年来の付き合いなんだぞ。
And who do you think that's thanks to you? Do you think if Takeya never contacted you, you'd still be friends?
お前はさ、友達多いくせに長続きまでするんだな。
友達の数と付き合いの深さは関係ないだろ。
there's also a person right in front of me who not only has few friends, but they also don't last long at all.
昔からお前に近づいてくるやつってさ、大抵最初は都合よく利用しようって連中ばかりだった。
それは気のせいだろ。俺がそんなにお人よしのバカに見えるか？
Yes, that's literally how Haruki is described in every single White Album 2 novel. They literally say that. That's who he is.
なんだよその呆れたようなため息は。
呆れてため息ついてんだよ。それ以外の何者でもない。
Left wholly dissatisfied with her statement, I moved to the pieces of crowned daisies. I moved the pieces of crowned daisies from Kazusa's plate to mine. And in exchange, I replenish her plate with kombu, with the hope that it will help preserve her rich and beautiful hair.
けど、お前がいつまでもそんなだからさ。いつの間にか、皆がお前を信頼してく。心の底から頼っていくんだ。
そろそろ雑炊行くか。
最初は見下してた。いい気味だと思ってた。すぐ利用されるやつがバカなんだから仕方ないって。
もうその話やめようぜ。
けどだんだんお前が騙されることにイラついていって、そのうちお前の周りに人が集まっていくのにますますイラついていった。
When she first met me, Kazusa had no one she could call a friend or a mentor. The teachers who knew of her circumstances treated her like a stone on the roadside, and her classmates who heard rumors about her treated her like a pest. No authentic communication existed between them.
あの時はその気持ちが何なのかわからなかった。ただイライラして意味もなく腹が立って。
そんなの思い込みだって。お前俺のことをひいき目で見すぎてんだよ。
そうだな。私お前のことひいきしてた。私を見てくれるのがお前しかいなかったから。
And what Kazusa's
私もお
talking...
前しか見なかった。
I interrupted her. What she's talking about right now is actually really, really well outlined in one of the WA2 side novels, which you can check out. I did do a read through of it, but you can find translations online as well. It's called The Snow Melts and Until It Falls Again, and they go really well into detail about this time period when Kazusa was first starting to like Haruki and just watching him from her desk. And it adds such a good layer of depth to the story. Highly, highly recommend checking it out if you haven't already, because it really puts into perspective how big a crush she had on him from the beginning. The only communication she ever received in abundance was the unbearable lecturing of a teacher's pet. However, 1 month before the school festival, she reluctantly came to socialize with that teacher's pet, and also an idol. After that came Takeya, Io, and Chikashi. After the school festival, she even managed to amass fans. She was able to make friends like most people. If that was what she truly wanted, however, I still don't know. But despite that, Kazusa did indeed once overcome her loneliness.
今もお前しか見てない。
She was supposed to have overcome it.
今お前が見てる俺はあの時の俺じゃない。
But now, Kazusa's loneliness is right back where it started.
この数年で俺は2度変わったんだ。カズサの知ってるあの頃の俺じゃなくなったんだよ。
She's back in Japan. Her old friends are just close by. Although I do disagree. She didn't really have friends. Like, yeah, people liked her. They looked up to her after the school festival. That's nothing. That's like people admiring Setsuna as the school idol. That doesn't mean she had friends. Takeya, Io, neither of them ever treated her like a friend. It was really just Haruki and Setsuna.
2年前までの俺は最低の人間だった。お前が嫌いな昔のお前みたいだった。
Yet, Kazusa refuses to meet any one of them but me. No, she can't meet them because of me.
いつまでも過去を引きずって誰にも優しくできなくて、俺のことを一番思ってくれた人を一番傷つけて。
過去ってさあ、もしかして私の。
そんなこと言えるか。正しくても間違ってても。
I understand that that's what Kazusa wanted herself, but the more I see her the way she is now, the more helpless I feel. In the end, Kazusa couldn't find anyone special to her besides her mother, even in Vienna. No, she never even tried.
今お前が見てる俺はその人に救われた後の俺なんだ。
Which, like, I'll fully admit that's super Kazusa's fault, and that is super unhealthy. Being obsessed with one person to the point that you're in a different country for like 5 years and you still don't have a friend, like, I'm sorry, but that's kind of your fault. You need to attempt socialization. You do. That's all there is to it. Friends don't just fall into your lap the majority of the time.
わかったよ。
She didn't build up any other pillars other than Haruki, so yeah, kind of is her fault. She's in utter contrast to me, who has managed to find countless people I consider precious to me here in Japan. Yeah, Haruki's fault is that even though he has all those pillars, he still betrays them all to go back to Kazusa. So, they're both in the wrong, as usual.
その人のおかげでまた少しだけ優しくなれたから、今の俺はその人にだけ優しい俺なんだ。
もういいよ。それ以上言わなくても。
元の俺とは違うんだ。
言わなくていいって言ってるだろ。黙れよ。
カズさ、
帰るよ。食事が済んだんならさっさと部屋に戻れ。私は疲れてるんだ。
ごめんな。
In contrast to how I was saved by Setsuna, Kazusa is...
でもな、春樹。
She just told me to leave. When I stand up to leave the room, Kazusa looks up at me with sulking, teary eyes.
お前がどれだけ変わってしまっても、私の思い込みを否定することはできないんだぞ。
カズさん。
She just told me to leave, yet I'm still in Kazusa's room, tightly grasping her hand as she's lying on the bed.
過去にとらわれてしまった私の気持ちを冷ますことはできないんだぞ。
Our trivial and pointless argument had a devastating effect on Kazusa's loneliness. I resolved to protect her until the concert ends, yet I've become the very person who hurt her.
手首痛くないか。
こうしてくれてたら痛くない。
そっか。ならお前が寝るまでずっとこうしてる。
いいよ。帰れよ。
わかってる。帰るよ。お前が眠ったら。
いいんだって。そんなことさせたら刹那に悪いよ。
いいんだって。
Of course, this is not okay. Just how long do I plan on remaining here? I'm I'm in the room of the woman I supposedly rejected. In the middle of the night, no less. Yeah, holding her hand, no less.
でも、お前が帰らないと、私眠れないよ。ずっと、お前の顔を見ていたくなるから。
そんなこと言っても、どうせ10分で飽きる。余計な心配するな。
There was a proper reason behind preparing dinner and picking Kazusa up. It was for Yoko-san's sake, for my job's sake, and for the sake of making Kazusa's concert succeed. Yep, there is always a convenient excuse.
なら、かけるか？私が朝まで起きてるかどうか。
But right now, there should be no reason for me to look at Kazusa fall asleep like this.
わかった。受けて立とう。1時間以内に寝たら、俺の勝ちな。
Even so, I can't leave Kazusa alone. I don't know if Kazusa can bear the loneliness, but I know that I can't bear leaving her. That's the thing. If you truly, truly cared about her loneliness, you wouldn't be saying, oh, well, it's just till the concert's over, whatever. No. You would leave Setsuna, and you would promise to be with her, and there you have it. All you're doing is putting a band-aid on an infected wound. It is not making it better, it's making it worse.
朝までって言ってるだろ？そんなハンデはいらない。
後悔するぞ。
どっちが？
おやすみ。
寝ないって言ってるだろ？
It was at that moment that I realized. I'm sure that Kazusa realized it too. The only one who can observe this bet is me. The bet won't proceed unless I remain here until Kazusa falls asleep. Kazusa doesn't point out that contradiction. All she does is tighten her grip around my hand. That's why I stop talking too, and respond with the warmth of my palm. Kazusa finally fell asleep 2 hours after that. No one knows if she won the bet or not.
ビーフカレー、サラダセットつけて。飲み物はミルクティーで。
はい。
あとフルーツパフェ食べてもいい？
ミニでしたら。
Aww, cute.
じゃあフルーツパフェのミニサイズも追加。全部一緒に持ってきてくれていいから。
かしこまりました。少々お待ちください。
The waiter, who was only supposed to come to our tables to clean up the tableware, forgot completely about his job and left with a stiff expression on his face.
よくそんなに食えますね。
Looking at my own emptied lunch plate in front of me, I make the same expression as him. When I went to pick Yoko-san up from the hospital, she was just about done with her medical checkup and only had to take the IV from her hand. It hasn't even been 30 minutes since then, yet her appetite is as strong as ever.
なんてね。食べられそうにないわよ。実は今にも吐きそうなの。それでも無理やり食べるの。朝から晩まで食べまくるのよ。バランスよく、大量に。
どうして？
痩せたなんて言われないようにね。
Aww, because that's what Kazusa asked her specifically. Though that seems to only have been my misunderstanding.
病気なんかに舐められてたまるかってのよ。冗談じゃない。戦うわよ、私。
陽子さん。
As I thought, I really respect her. Or perhaps the word revere would be more appropriate. This emotional strength of hers must be the reason she was able to travel the world all by herself. A certain other woman, on the other hand, all she has is effort and talent. She's rowing throughout the entire world without her emotions catching up.
それよりギターくんこそ悪かったわね。こんな私の戦いに巻き込んじゃって。
The whole thing, like, I get it. I get not telling Kazusa right away. I understand their reasoning, and I don't think they have bad reasoning. It feels wrong. It feels icky to go behind Kazusa's back with all this. I just really don't like it. But that being said, we're gonna stop there for today. So, thank you so much for being here on this episode of CODA, and I'll see you on the next one. Until then, hope you take care. See you!